Zel Boy Army, welcome to another spicy one on the channel. This is my first post-patch tactics. So, I've played probably like 25-30 games on the new patch by now. I'm at 2,100 skill rating, which is the top 1% of the Elite Division. The Elite Division in Rivals is the peak of the peak, the creme de la creme, the best of the best. It is the best place to test these tactics against people. If you think my team's good, I get put against better teams in this, I would say, 3/4 of the time. I play Prime R9, Mid R9, Headliner Mbappe, Winter Card Neymar, Prime Pele, cards like this most games. So before you start saying, oh, it's not the tactic, it's just the team, this team's not even that good at the top end of the Elite Division, which is crazy, but that's just the truth of it. So I've been testing out my new tactic. I've updated it slightly based on what the new patch is. It's not a drastic change. We're still using the 4-4-2. I am going to start testing some new formations out now that the game's changed quite a bit. I do think the 4-4-2 probably is still going to be king, but I'd like to test new tactics out, and I want to give you guys more options you can use, but I'm always going to go back to the baby, the number one, 4-4-2 for the start of the patch. One thing you might notice that is a bit different is I've gone back to centre-backs. Now that the through balls in behind have changed, as in they've not changed the actual passing, but centre backs don't, or just defenders don't de-accelerate now against chip through balls. It's actually a lot easier to use centre backs now. Tierney, Semedo, fullbacks like that are still going to be very, very good at centre back, and they're often a lot cheaper. So if you want value, players like that are better. But in my team where I can afford them, I think centre backs are a little bit better overall because you don't lose the chemistry for one, and they're a bit bigger bodies, which is quite nice but not essential. And I think especially now that when people ping the ball about, and they can't do it as effectively because interceptions have been buffed, bigger bodies, better defenders are going to make a difference. So that's why I'm doing that. So that's explaining that really. For the centre mids, I want one who's a bit quicker, better all around defensively. Whilst he's not got elite defending stats, he's got great physical and he's rapid. I want both midfielders to be able to shoot, be good on the ball. Zidane and Ronaldo are clearly good at that. And then for the attackers, I want 5-star skills or weak foot. I've only got one 5-star weak foot, but I've got 3 5-star skills. And then Messi's just Messi. He's crazy on the game. Be interested if Team of the Year is any good. But that is the team, and that is a bit of talk about why I like it on this new patch. The actual tactic, though. So, we've got a few variations of it. We've got my ultra defensive, which is to see out games. My defensive, which is not defensive, it's just a general tactic that I use majority of the time. My press after possession loss, that is the tactic I go to if I'm chasing a game, but I don't want to go all out yet. And then my all out is if I'm really struggling to get back into the game, the time wasting, it's late on, and I need a goal. The main bread and butter of this tactic, though, is the defensive one. I've lowered the width slightly. It was on 50 before. I've lowered it a little bit. I don't think the width drastically changes things too much, but I think people are going to be pinging or trying to ping the ball. And now that it's harder to do that, lowering the width makes it even harder and more compact in the middle. So people are going to really struggle to pass through you. I've upped the depth. I had it on 30 before. I think having slightly higher depth allows you to press a little bit better. It doesn't actually affect where your defensive line sits, just how high up they start to press. It does kind of affect a little bit where people are going to chip through ball you from. But on this patch where defenders can deal with it better, as long as you've got a good enough defense, I think upping the depth's helpful. I've lowered the width slightly from before. I don't think that this is necessarily something that I'm guaranteed to keep to, but it's just something I'm experimenting with and it's been working quite well so far. And then I've lowered the players in box by 1 because I just found I was getting counter-attacked a little bit. It's one of the main ways people score. The game's got a bit more negative now, so a lot of people tend to just park the bus. And when they park the bus and play super negative, it's very hard to defend the counter when they just quickly go forward. So I've lowered the players in box just to make sure that I don't get countered as much. And you'll see in my instruction on my Ronaldo Sanchez, instead of 2 balanced attack midfielders, I've gone for stay back while attacking just to cover me a bit more. He can still get forward. I can do 1-2 passes, trigger runs with him, but it just means if I want him to be, he can be a bit more solid. We've got stay back on all the defenders. Nothing changed on that. The keeper comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. I like comes for crosses because headers, whilst not being great, if they've got someone tall, it does help for the keeper to come out. Sweeper keeper is always going to make a big difference. I think dealing with through balls just gets the keeper off the line quicker. Come back on defense, balance width, getting behind on the wingers. Balance width, stay forward on the strikers. Not really changed too much. It's more a few tweaks and changes and also some personnel changes for the new patch. For this one, I can't actually remember what I did. I did mess around with it a little bit. I think I might have upped the depth. I think the depth was on 60 and we went to 70. And then for the instructions, I've still gone stay back while attacking on the midfielder. It is a more attacking formation. It's got getting to the box now on the wingers, but I don't want... It's not more attacking formation, it's more attacking tactic. It is the same formation. But I don't want to get caught on the counter. The worst thing that can happen is concede a stupid goal because you've just not got enough men back. I found in the 4-4-2, in my midfield, with the way people part the bus and then attacked quick, I was just getting caught out. For the ultra attacking, we're not changing anything here, but for people who might be new to the channel, might not have seen this one before, I've got 100 depth, 70 width, constant pressure. It's all out. This is desperate times. It is better to lose by 3 or 4 goals than lose by 1 and not even try to get back into the game. That is my way of seeing it. Fast build up, forward runs. I don't like fast build up and forward runs generally, but for this tactic, it's basically a case of it's do or die. We need to get a quick goal, and I'm winning the ball so high up the pitch, I want to instantly go forward. Lots of players in box. And then for the instructions, stay central, getting behind, stay forward on the strikers. Stay forward, cut inside, get in the box, get behind for the wingers, because I've got the fullbacks on overlap, so I don't normally want the wingers to cut inside, but because I want them have more men in the box and the fullbacks are overlapping, I can do that because I still have the width. Balanced, get in the box. I want Zidane to be the one on get forward. Cover centre on the 2 centre mids. I still want them covering the middle, and then the centre backs stay back, and then comes across sweeper keeper on the keeper. And then for the ultra defensive, to see out the game, I've upped the depth a little bit. I feel like now that you can intercept stuff a little bit more, upping the depth means you're going to be able to just push up a little bit, be a bit more aggressive. You don't need to be too aggressive. Obviously, it's a very negative tactic in the 5-3-2, but I'm just finding that works a bit more for me. For the instructions, it's pretty much come back on defense and everyone. Stay back on one of the midfielders. I don't want them all on stay back. Simply put, if the outside ones are on stay back, you have nothing going forward. Time waste and keep the ball. Stay back on all of the wing backs. And those are the tactics. I would spend most of the game in the balanced, direct passing, defensive one that I've got. It's not a defensive tactic at all. It's quite attacking, if anything. But it just seems to be working really well with me on the new patch. I'm going to play some weekend league with this tactic, and I'll start to upload some gameplay with it. You can watch me over at Twitch, see me using the tactic live. Is there any formations or things you guys want me to test on the new patch? I'm going to be doing some tactics videos for different formations. I want to try different stuff out, see if there's anything else working better. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed this video. Tactics videos are always one that get highly requested on the channel. So I've delivered, got my new post-patch tactics for you guys. Appreciate you guys' support as always. Keep it spicy, and I'll see you in the next one for a Team of the Year review.